First of all, congratulations on retiring. You've been in the university system of Georgia a long time, haven't you?
I have. I've worked with some fantastic folks. Had great colleagues in the system, both at Kennesaw and at Columbus State. And truthfully, I think the highlights are more reflected for anybody in this profession in meeting graduates over the years and to see and share in their successes. I think that's, I think it's just very special. And at the end of the day, it's why many people are attracted to higher ed. I think there were two major watershed events. I think the first came in the 90s when an array of colleges in the system were redesignated as universities.
This being one of them.
Absolutely. And I think that had, it's not emphasized enough how, from a strategic positioning perspective, how profound an impact that has had on comprehensive universities in the university system of Georgia. It was a major decision, both by the Chancellor and the Board of Regents at that time. For a state that grew so profoundly from 1990 to 2000, where there are so many newcomers from out of state, that subtle differentiation between university and college is a major recruiting asset. The second point, I think, began in 2008, and that's the shifting economic picture of public higher education, which impacted our own university system, but public universities throughout the United States.
The other two were a bigger deal than Hope?
Well, I think Hope has left a legacy transformation on the university system. I mean, anybody in the system for the last 25 years says a quiet and a public thank you to former Governor Miller for the vision that Hope represented. I think he had the wisdom that Georgia was one of the last systems to launch a lottery, and saw how many states had abused lottery revenues. And so with his guidance in the legislature, the Hope program is among the tightest in the nation, and allowed the state of Georgia to recruit and retain the best and the brightest across the university system.
Have you ever been in another university where there was the financial, emotional, and community connection to the university as there is here?
Yeah. No. And 36 years is a long time in higher ed. Columbus State University will be forever grateful to this community and the depth of the town-gown partnership that exists in so many dimensions. Very unique, both alliance and synergy that makes for a dramatically enhanced quality of life here in the Valley.
Do your colleagues, presidents across the system, are they envious or are they skeptical of it, of that relationship?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of curiosity. We have hosted presidents and delegations from all over Georgia that are particularly interested in the River Park, Uptown Columbus partnership, and are deeply interested in seeing, can their communities replicate something like that?
When they ask you how to do it, what do you tell them?
Well, the first thing is when when I was asked last week if I'd be part of the inaugural tranche that got on the zip line, I said, I'm in. I mean, the reality is you got to immerse yourself in everything, both individually. You got to vest yourself in everything. And that whitewater, zip line, riverfront development in Columbus will forever change the dynamic of Uptown in the city. And so
and it's on your campus.
the evolution that I've watched in the last 6+ years has been, it's really exciting.
So what was the zip line like?
The zip line, first of all, I wouldn't go in a suit. I'd recommend no suit, no dress shoes.
I saw you were wearing dress shoes.
And I had to take the tie off. And the zip, and what we need to remind people is 2 zip lines. It's one across the Chattahoochee, and then one that runs parallel to the river on the Alabama side. They're both fantastic, but the challenge are in the 2 ropes courses. My colleague John Lester forgot to mention that there was an interim series of activities on that. There's no more fun for me, Chuck, than to see our students roll out of their apartments in One Arsenal, what was vacant space on the ground floor of One Arsenal, roll out of bed, grab their kayaks, and go jump into the river 30 seconds later. That's part of what the cachet that the CSU experience should represent.
You have 2 campuses. You have a downtown campus and a main campus. Is that a plus or a minus?
It's a plus that we constantly have to work on selling and connecting. You know, you probably know every year I've hosted a bike ride from one campus to the other right at the beginning of the year to emphasize the value of the Fall Line Trace, that spectacular Rails to Trails ride that connects our 2 campuses. You know, our people don't realize our shuttle buses run until 3 in the morning. We want students, faculty, and staff to leverage the best of both campuses and to connect the 2. And it's hard. There are other examples around the country, many public universities that deal with the same issue, and we've learned something from all of them. But as we continue to invest in both, it creates complementary appeal for everybody at the university.
What's the most significant change you've made at CSU in your 6+ year tenure?
It's a great question. I think an academic tipping point is, for any university, is the launch of a doctoral program. There are great baccalaureate-only institutions and baccalaureate and master's institutions. But bringing doctoral education to this region represents an opportunity for Columbus State University moving forward, not only to celebrate the ongoing importance of research and professional development, but also conceivably with the support of the regions to ultimately offer 2 more doctoral programs that meet the needs of the region.
You survived as president. You survived a vote of no confidence from your faculty that was early in your tenure. Mm-hmm. How did you survive it?
First of all, the love and support of my wife, Laura. I think she had a lot to do with keeping me on task and really supporting my personal resolve. There's no question about it. And she is certainly the stronger component of the team.
Why do you say that?
Well, I think she's, I think in some regards, she's more unflappable. I think she's more thoughtful, more deliberate, and is an incredibly competent and capable coach, and I've benefited.
So you listen to Lauren a lot.
No, absolutely, and we don't always agree. And I agree with her a lot more than she agrees with me. But it's I'm a significantly better person because of it, and I think her engagement and immersion in this community the last 6 years has been nothing short of stunning.
On your wall right there, I see a plaque, World's Most Entrepreneurial Dean. Many people don't have a hard time figuring how entrepreneurship and higher education go hand in hand. How do they?
Well, a lot of Professor Clay Christensen's work has focused on this whole nature of reinvention. We are in the midst of probably the greatest transformation that higher education has undergone in decades and decades. It's about the reinvention of programs, the reinvention of platforms for how we deliver programs, reinventing funding models for higher education. And so reinvention is about innovation, it's about creativity, it's about entrepreneurship, and then it's about ultimately securing the necessary resources to make those things work. And it takes a collective commitment to transform how universities do business today.
Talk quick. What's the next chapter of your life look like?
Well, it's going to be colder. I can promise you that.
First, where are you going?
I've taken a position as Senior Vice President and Chief Officer with AACSB International. AACSB is the Association for the Advancement of Collegiate Schools of Business. It's a 100-year-old organization that focuses exclusively on world-class management education and accredits business schools around the world. 6 years ago, they opened an office to serve Asia Pacific region in Singapore. And now their board has decided to make the same commitment to support business school needs in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. And I'm going to, back to entrepreneurship, I'm going to launch this office on the 1st of January in Amsterdam.
Columbus, Amsterdam. That's quite a lifestyle change.
Two great cities, two great waterfronts, and I'm very excited about what we're doing here, and I'm very excited about this new opportunity.